So every day I'd be looking in the mirror and I'd be saying to myself, please, not a pedophile mustache. Please, not a pedophile mustache. I guess before we really kick things off, Tim, I just want to do some housekeeping with you. You know?
Sure.
I'm looking at my notes. We renamed our podcast.
Yep. I'm just getting my windows split up here so I can see the email at the same time.
Oh, yeah, that's okay.
We renamed.
It keeps us on the straight and narrow. So we're renaming ourselves to Reliable Narrator, just to differentiate between all the unreliable narrators that are out there. There aren't any really reliable narrators, so now we're them. Fair enough?
Yeah, and I think also maybe what we're going to do is we're going to become more reliable at podcasting. Maybe. Because it's been since March, right? We're a little unreliable on that front right now, but we need to become reliable.
Well, we'll see what we can do. We'll see how often. Yeah, we've got some bugs to work out. But we have a guest today. We have with us Clifford Krauss from Clifford Krauss Fitness, and we just wanted to kind of have a little bit of talk, seeing as how, well, I guess it's Men's Health Month, isn't it?
Yeah, something like that. Or today is Men's Day, National Men's Day, something like that.
Today?
I think so.
I
might have seen that on Twitter. Maybe it's the month. Who knows?
Oh, really?
I guess November is kind of that, isn't it?
Yeah. 2 or 3 of us are rocking pretty awesome stashes right now.
Damn
and,
right.
Well, I guess somebody had to take the bullet for that, eh? So.
Yeah. But anyway, we brought you on because I thought, full disclosure, I've known you for quite some time. It's been a couple years. And I know you have kind of a fairly interesting story. And you posted about it the other day on Twitter, Instagram, at Clifford Krauss Fitness, which I follow. And I really enjoy your suggestions, routines, and everything on there.
Appreciate that.
So I just thought maybe you'd give, like, as much as you're comfortable of, an introduction to you, the kind of stuff that you do, and you know, what's your driver, man? What makes you tick? What do you do?
So if we want to take it back all the way to the beginning, grew up lifelong athlete, played fairly high level hockey and lacrosse, tried just about every sport under the sun. Got to be about the time I was about to graduate from high school, maybe a little bit before that. I completely quit playing sports, pretty much threw health and fitness to the back burner of my life, and joined a punk rock band. Kind of fell into all of the traps and tropes of playing in a punk rock band for as long as I did. Just lots of booze. I don't know that there's a person on earth who enjoyed smoking cigarettes as much as I enjoyed smoking cigarettes. Being in the band, we ended up touring around the country, so there was just like no sleep, fast food, free booze, smoking every waking minute of the day. And then when I was 28, it all kind of caught up with me, and I suffered 2 major and fatal heart attacks. Both of them flatlined me. I was dead for a total of about 15 minutes. In a medically induced coma for a week. And then decided I was going to make some lifestyle changes when I got out of the hospital, and I ended up going to the gym and enjoying it enough that I went to school at Mount Royal University, I got my bachelor's in physical literacy, and I'm a CSEP certified personal trainer working out of a company called Nate Fit right now.
That's awesome.
And that's pretty much the quick, skinny, bare bones version of the story.
Well, I knew you when this all happened. We were friends then, and I was living in another part of the country, but I remember it being like a really big deal, and we were all pretty scared for you. And
Yeah, it was. So I had a 100% scar tissue blockage of my lower anterior descending artery. So they couldn't really operate on it because, like, if it was a plaque blockage, they would throw a stent in there and keep that blockage open. But because it was a scar tissue blockage, it would have been really dangerous to operate on because they would have to cut the scar tissue out, and they would have to remove it in the span of a heartbeat. Otherwise, what they cut out could get pumped through my heart into my system, and then that chunk of scar tissue could land anywhere. So it could end up in my lungs as a pulmonary embolism, or in my brain and give me a stroke. So they were, I got really lucky. Actually, what happened, the blockage developed over such a long period of time, slowly, that the pressure on the arterial wall of my artery caused a little bypass vein around the blockage itself. So now, instead of an artery pushing blood through my heart, there's just like a vein that just blood flows through.
so you were also like pretty lucky timing wise with where you happened to be when this was all going on, if I remember right.
Yeah. So I was living with my parents at the time, and I was at a friend's house. We were playing like Call of Duty or something like that, and I started feeling like motion sickness, which I never really got from those first-person shooter type video games. So I just figured I was sick. I went home, told my parents I wasn't feeling very well. And honestly, going to bed that night is the last thing that I remember, other than like waking up 6 days later. But I guess I went to bed a couple hours later, just woke my parents up, told them something was wrong, went to the hospital. They had me sitting in the triage ER room for a while, and I just threw up all over and collapsed on the floor, and they immediately started administering CPR.
Holy smokes, man.
Yeah, it was crazy times.
Well, you're a lucky guy, and we're glad to have you here, dude. So we won't dwell on that too long, I don't think.
Sure.
But we will ask you. So, that got you going back to the gym again. And that's, I guess, kind of what Tim and I kind of wanted to talk most about with you is you're someone who kind of got out of it and then went back into it. I don't know if maybe when you were an athlete in high school, if you were really so focused on, say, going to the gym then, or if it was more about the athletics and not so much the gym.
Yeah, growing up, it was a lot more about sport-specific stuff. The gym work that we did was really supplemental to the sport. The sports always came first. But that's how it is in youth athletics.
So, go ahead, Tim.
I'm just curious. So then, what are your thoughts on? Obviously, this is a lifestyle type of change. It was needed more than just a gym style type of change. It wasn't lack of activity per se as much as the activities you were doing.
Yeah, it was
a fair statement.
A very fair statement. I kind of turned my life to instead of doing sports, I did the band, and just with the amount that we played and the amount that we were touring, like the gym wasn't even an option really. It could have been. It would have been hard. but I was really into trying to be a rock star for a long time. And it didn't work.
You guys came close. I remember, I heard stories, but I heard there was right there.
We've had brushes.
And you guys were good.
Yeah, we had brushes. But yeah, the lifestyle thing was huge. Especially, it's one of those things where like you don't know how good you can feel until you actually start living like a very balanced, healthy life across the board. And yeah, it feels really good compared to my days touring around in a van. This is much better.
So, go ahead, Tim.
Oh, I was just one more thing I was gonna say, although I know it's not really comparable, but at the same time, it kind of is, because Ryan and I were both in the oil field, so I don't know about Ryan's early oil field life, but I really loved smokes too. Like I was doing 2 packs, 3 packs a day,
Yeah.
booze. I know the other guys were all into drugs, no sleep, go, go, go. So this doesn't just apply to rock stars. This applies to a lot of guys that are not taking
100%.
care of themselves, right? Like lifestyle wise. That's all I was gonna say.
Yeah, well, and it was one of those things too where I knew what I was doing was bad, but there was that it probably won't happen to me type of a thing going on. And man, in the back of your head, you know that it could happen to you, but you just kind of like disassociate that. And I don't know, it's one of those things where I think that you do that to justify continuing doing something that, like cigarettes. I was heavily addicted to cigarettes. I think when I went down with my heart attacks, I think I was smoking 2.5 packs a day. You know, like, and in my brain, I was like, you know, none of that bad stuff is going to happen to me. I'm me. I'm going to live forever.
That's the male brain, you know.
Yeah.
That's the. We all just think that not time isn't going to catch up with us, and nothing bad that we do is ever going to outrun us. I do the same thing. I was probably there with you for a lot of those cigarettes myself.
I mean, I don't want to say that people in your family introduced me to smoking cigarettes, but I think it worked out that way.
Well, people in my family introduced me to smoking cigarettes. Yeah, it's
there
probably the same guy.
Hansen's the gateway drug.
Yeah.
So the one of the things, I don't like to talk about this too much because there's like I do have kind of like a similar focus on you. It was later in my life. I'm now in my mid-40s and got sick of feeling kind of schlubby and overweight, and went to camp, was living the rock star lifestyle in camp for about a year and a half. And then I came back here to my house. I got a job close to home. And the first thing that I thought was like, great, I'm going to go back. I'm going to go to the gym. I'm going to get a little bit fixed up. And my wife said to me, she's like, don't be an asshole. You got to go to the doctor first. You don't even know what kind of shape you're in.
Yeah.
So because she's right and smarter than me, I listened, and I went to the doctor, and they told me it was kind of like a little bit of a come to Jesus moment, where, for me, it was more of a cholesterol scare, where it was like, you're too young to be having these kind of issues. Like, a 300-pound man, what's the issue here? And it was my diet and my lack of activity. So that got me back into going into a gym environment, which I wasn't really used to. And one of the things I guess I wanted to just talk about was a lot of people have this notion that, getting fit or going to a place where people are all kind of a gym, like we'll say say you're going to go to a gym or you're going to do some sort of lifestyle change. People see that's like the first option, right? Everyone thinks, I got to get fit. I got to go to the gym. But it's a scary place, I guess, for a newcomer.
Very intimidating.
Did you find that when you first started going? Like, what was it like when you got into this?
Yes and no. The one thing that really helped me was when I quit hockey off and on. The only other kind of like quote unquote sports that I ever trained or participated in, and granted, it was like I wasn't very dedicated to it or anything, but I did a lot of martial arts. So there wasn't, I wouldn't say there was a lot of people or situations that really intimidated me that much, but I know how intimidating a gym can be, especially when people don't, like, they're not used to environments like that. And a lot of people will go in there and think that like everybody's staring at them and like they don't feel like they belong and they stick out like a sore thumb. And that is actually really rare. Out of a lot of the gyms that I've been to, and of course gyms that I haven't worked at but just been a patron of, if you ask anybody for help or some advice on a technique or anything like that, 99% of the people who go to gyms are so happy to help you that it's actually crazy. But if you're keeping to yourself and you're not really talking to anybody, that's when gyms get really intimidating because you feel like people are staring at you and you almost like if you're not kind of making eye contact and giving somebody a head nod when you walk past them, you might think that they're being a dick and they might think that you're being a dick. And then there's just this crossing of wires where everybody there is actually sharing a hobby and it's something in common that you have with that person. Do you know what I mean? And I think that's something that not a lot of people understand when they go into a gym is like everybody there is just trying to do the same thing that you're doing, and they might just go about it a different way.
Yeah.
So like, yeah, it's one of those things. I don't know exactly how you would take, and I guess it's a culture thing with every gym where like maybe if gyms had a bit of a cooler culture and not like, I don't know, there's a gym that I go to right now where it's a lot of like meatheady boys and girls that go there. And if you walk in and you're just trying to do your own thing, like you stick out like a sore thumb. Like I stick out like a sore thumb, and like I'm a fairly in shape. I mean, I'm a personal trainer. Do you know what I mean? And
Yeah.
I sometimes feel like they're staring at me.
Who's the small guy?
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah, so now that you've said that, you're a personal trainer and you feel like that. So now look at it from my point of view, maybe. I
exactly.
don't typically go into clubs or any place of any sort and just randomly strike up conversations or look all kinds of people in the eye. I just don't do
Yeah,
that. So
yeah,
then to go to a gym where now you're all of a sudden you're wearing clothes you never wear and you're looking at items of who knows what description that you're supposed to figure out how to use while not looking like a retard and
yeah.
it's more than just a little bit of a problem. I still do it on occasion, but that's probably
Sure.
why I don't go to gyms very often and I would rather go for a run outside or
Right.
something.
Well, and nothing wrong with going for a run outside either, right? Like that's still
Mhm.
self-care. You're still
Yeah.
keeping care of yourself. The one thing I would say is before you start feeling like you're just the sore thumb sticking out in the place, like looking at a piece of equipment that you don't know how to use, ask somebody. Like I promise they will be so happy to tell you. Because not only are they helping you learn how to use this piece of machinery, but anyone who goes to a gym frequently thinks they're an expert. So they will be so happy that you picked them to ask that
Hmm.
they'll give you the best answer that they can.
Well,
That's
so
good advice. So we'll have to give it a try.
Yeah. Like do what you know how to do, and then maybe just like look at one piece of equipment you don't know how to use and ask somebody about it. What is this? How do I use it?
How
What
do
does
I
it
avoid
work?
being on YouTube?
Yeah. Yes. Oh, there are some bad videos on YouTube.
oh yeah, I've seen a few of those. Well, one of the things that I do like on following your Instagram at Clifford Krauss Fitness
I
is that
appreciate you constantly plugging it like that. It's very professional of you.
that's what we do here.
That's amazing.
Yeah,
Consummate
we have
professionals.
Clifford Krauss Fitness. That's up on my screen right now. Did we mention it?
Beautiful.
I don't know.
Beautiful.
One of the things
Sorry,
that I
Ryan.
like is you kind of have like an all kind of a wholesome approach to this. Like I think one of the things that I've seen you post on there is like any sort of doing something, any sort of lifestyle change is going to be for most people for the positive. You know, for someone who's just kind of like has nowhere to start, they don't know where to start. They don't, maybe they don't know if a gym is their thing. They don't know if they can just kind of, you know, eating habits, any sort of, just light exercise, anything like that. What would be your advice to someone who just has no way or nowhere to start, like doesn't know where to start? What would you say?
Um, I would say it depends. And I'll probably say that so much during this podcast that you're going to get annoyed with it because that's my answer to
No, that's
most
okay.
things. But broad, broad advice. Try as many things as you can. Like, try going to the gym by yourself. If you hate that, go to a spin class. If you hate that, join a rec sports league, like a co-ed non-competitive sports league, or try some martial arts, because people look at getting in shape like you have to go to the gym and you have to lift more than the guy next to you and you have to be the toughest, most bad ass motherfucker that. And all you need to do is find something that you like doing. There's so much you can do in terms of fitness that, like, there's going to be something that you like. So try everything. I did hot yoga for 3 years and I loved it so much, and like
I love
I don't
hot
think you
yoga.
would catch me dead in a hot yoga studio now at this point in my life. So it's like I've gone through all these phases of how I like to train. And I think that's a beautiful thing, is like you can love health and fitness and you can fall in and out of love of all these different modalities, but keep your kind of like, and I hate this saying, but like your fitness journey, you can keep it going. Do you know what I mean?
So there's something to be said for changing things up too, isn't there? Because if you work the same way all the time, aren't you working yourself into like a black hole of possible chronic fatigue of stuff?
It depends.
Potentially. Depends.
It
Yeah, there you
depends
go. But depends if, for
on
instance, if all you did was just straight up dumbbells every day. For instance, you had some dumbbells at home and you just did dumbbells, and like when you hit a wall on
right.
that.
Yeah. So if you're just doing things like lifting weights, there does have to be, and it depends on your goals. Like if you're just trying to get some blood moving through your limbs, those dumbbells are going to be fine for the rest of your life. If you're looking to build muscle, you're going to need to progressively overload. So either more repetitions or higher weights, more sets, that type of a thing. But if all you want is just the general health benefits, like you can put yourself through a dumbbell workout with the same weights every day, as long as you can get your heart rate elevated and have perfectly fine health benefits for it. It's the other thing.
So it's oh,
It's
go ahead.
so incredibly simple that most people overcomplicate it. It's so easy. You don't even need dumbbells. You can do body weight exercises for the rest of your life and be strong and healthy.
Yeah, it's kind of a that, like I said before, that's one of the things that I kind of like in your message and what you put out there, is that just anything is better than nothing, and that's something that I've really had to learn for myself.
Yeah.
Is that just like me doing nothing made me, I don't know. I'll tell you a little bit about what happened with me. Is that
Let's hear it.
the more I sit around, and the worse I feel, the more anxious I would get, and
Right.
the more self-conscious I would get, the more reclusive I'd get, because I just want to I don't know, just hang out within myself. So it just kind of getting back out and just doing something, anything, stopping in after work, going before work, just whatever I could do just to get a little bit of activity and a little bit of movement. One thing led to the next, and to the next, to the next, to the next. And I'm still going. Like, there's still things that I, struggle with and stuff like that. And,
For sure.
it's tough. It's tough. The older you get, the worse it is. I think I got a couple years on you, but not that many. But
Yeah.
one of the things that I wanted to mention before I derailed my entire train of thought here was that I don't know. Shit, Tim, do you got anything? Help me out. Bail a brother out, Tim.
You
Okay,
were.
well, I don't think it gets easier the harder you get, or I'm screwed. So
No,
you just
and
keep going and doing whatever you can do, right? So I do but what I do personally for myself is I do 50 minutes of yoga every morning, and
love
that
that.
because if I don't, I just don't feel good.
Right.
Every
Yeah.
time I don't do it for a couple of days, I don't feel good. So it
Well,
just
and
keeps me
there's
doing that.
something to be said about like the two sides of that, where it's you feel good when you exercise. It actually ends up
Hmm.
like it releases all of the happy hormones. Um, you have more energy throughout the day counterintuitively, which is another thing that a lot of people like to tell you. They're like, I don't have the energy to work out after my day's work. It's like, how do you do it? It's like, the only reason I have energy to do it is because I do it. And
Yeah.
at the same thing, like Ryan was saying, the more that you're just like staying on the couch, the more you end up not wanting to get out and do anything, the more you're falling further and further into yourself, like he was kind of talking about. Those are both feedback loops around exercise that happen. Like, the less you do it, the more unhealthy you get, the worse you feel, the more it makes you feel like you don't want to go out and do stuff, and vice versa with the other way. Like, the more you exercise, the more you recognize that it feels good, and the more you want to do it. So long as you're recovering well.
My train of thought just got back on the track.
I knew it would. Just had to
Yeah, and
filibuster.
here's what I was getting to, is that one of the things that I would convince myself of all the time was that I didn't have time for this. Like, I didn't have
Oh
time
yeah.
to work in any sort of thing. And I imagine, like, you being you being a personal trainer, you're waving the number one finger. This must be something that you hear a lot.
That is
And
the number one thing.
yeah,
How do you not have time to stay healthy so that you can live well?
That's something that people don't understand, right? Like, uh, yeah, I saw something on the internet that was like, it made me. I'm not a father, so I can't relate to it, but I hear this a lot from parents where they always say, I would do anything for my family. I would die for my family. But would you stay healthy so that you can be there for your family? Do you know what I mean?
yep,
Like,
Well, I think sometimes for some people that is a big motivator when they realize they do have to make a change, right? They suddenly
yeah,
realize, hey, I've let things drop, and if I don't start doing something soon, my kids are going to be wheeling me around in a chair. So maybe I
absolutely.
should.
And actually, a guy that I used to train, he was something like 400 pounds, maybe more than 400 pounds. And he ended up having a daughter. And his daughter one day was like, Dad, like, race me down this field or whatever. I was like, Dad can't race. You know what I mean? Like 400 some odd pounds. Like, I can't race you. And that affected him so much that I think he weighs 180 pounds now. And like,
Wow.
his story has been like retweeted by Arnold Schwarzenegger, and the guy just wrote a book. It's like pretty amazing stuff. Actually,
Wow.
he got stabbed too. Like,
Whoa.
He's got a crazy story, but yeah, it was one of those things where like just his kid and not being able to do normal dad stuff with his daughter was enough for him.
So not only does training with you work, it's a little touch of danger in there.
Yeah, I didn't mention I stabbed him.
I thought maybe that was that sketchy gym you took him to.
No.
So, say for example, reality speaking here is a lot of people do have a lot on their plates. A lot of people have, say for example, I got older kids, so they're getting a little bit more. How would you say, like, less? I have more freedom, right?
Yeah.
I don't have to. They don't require as much of my attention or time. They hide out, and sometimes I don't even know I have kids.
Yeah,
But
Ryan's
for people who do, yeah. So the people that do have kids and they got to run around and they're doing, soccer practice and they're taking the kids to hockey and they just got a lot on their plates. What would you say for someone like that who just is saying to you, I just don't have the time to do this. I don't have the time. I don't have the time for it.
I would tell him to call Tim and ask what he does. 15 minutes of yoga in the morning, Like, if yoga's not your thing, do some body weight squats and some push-ups or something like that. You gain so much benefits internally in terms of like hormones and just how you feel from 15 minutes of elevating your heart rate than not doing it at all. And it's another one of those things where you'll start with 15 minutes and then you'll want to do half an hour, and you'll make the choice to go to bed earlier so that you can wake up 15 minutes earlier so that you can get that extra 15 minutes. And it's the snowball effect happens in a big way with fitness. That's how you end up getting psychopaths that do Ironmans.
Yeah, it's just one piece at a time, right? The old Johnny Cash saying.
100%.
Well, one thing that I'm finding out here on my fitness journey is that Ryan loves food. I have like a really good relationship with food. I like all the foods.
Let's talk about it, because I'm the same guy.
Yeah.
I think there's a lot of us out there.
Yeah. So here's my advice for food lovers. If you love housing food as much as you can, as long as it's tasty food, not too much sugar, start a weightlifting program, because you're going to end up building muscle, and you're probably going to get into the type of shape where you've got the body type of someone who deadlifts and squats, but it's also very evident that you like donuts.
Yeah.
You end up getting that big, but then generally you have enough muscle to like mop up a lot of blood glucose, because muscles use sugar, right? Like, they kind of need it. So the more muscle you have on your body, the more sugar your body can use without getting into like the insulin resistance, type 2 diabetes type stuff. So that's a bonus. So if you love to eat, pack muscle on, because it'll be easier to pack muscle on because you're in a caloric surplus, and you'll end up being able to eat the amount of food that you like to eat without really getting that fat.
But weights, that's the trick here is
yes,
putting that muscle on and using your food to
Yeah, man, food's a tool.
jack up the muscle a bit.
It's a
Okay.
delicious tool.
That's my
that you
winter
can-
plan.
Yeah.
Actually, is because I came back from BC and I was out there working, and I was doing a lot of hiking because there's lots of trails and everything else. And now here I
Mhm.
am back in boring central Alberta to buy the local gravel road, and I got to come up with something new to do. So next week I was going to start figuring out what that is going to be.
Yeah. Start with body
it-
weight exercises if you don't have anything like that. And then another really good tool that I've found as like a step up from that is just get like a kettlebell, because you can do so much with them. It's takes up almost no space, and you can Google kettlebell workouts and you could watch them until whenever the rest of your life is. Like, there's so many workouts on YouTube, especially
Yeah,
for
there
kettlebells.
are. They're like the Swiss Army knife of the gym. They do
Yeah.
everything.
Yeah, 100%. Love me a kettlebell. I got like 5 or 6 of them right over here.
So, maybe I guess another thing that kind of pops into my mind here is myths and stuff about, what kind of myths do you hear? I mean, any industry out there, you're going to have your woo woo science or your
And the fitness industry is rife with that. Stuff that I hear a lot. I hear, and by no means am I a nutritionist or a dietitian, but I do know how to read a peer-reviewed study, and I've done a lot of that through my schooling and, I don't know, my profession. High protein diets, a lot of people think that high protein diets are bad for your kidneys for some reason. And unless you have like kidney problems, that's just completely untrue. The more protein you can get into you, the better. Because protein A is going to be what builds your muscles. And a fun fact, starting at the age of 40, sometimes even earlier than that, without physical activity, you start losing 1% of your muscle mass every year. So if you think about that, from 40 to 50, if you remain relatively sedentary and don't really exercise at all, you could lose up to 10% of your lean muscle mass.
That's a lot.
That's a lot. So, like, protein is super, super fucking important. Oh, sorry. Am I allowed to swear like that?
You can swear. We
Okay,
swear all the time.
Good.
We're pipe fitters.
Super fucking important. Protein. That should be the number one thing that you eat. And the other thing that happens with protein is because your body breaks it down into amino acids, it actually uses up some of the calories that you consumed to break down the protein to get into your tissues. So you kind of eat less calories than you eat when you eat protein.
It
So
takes
is that
more
why
energy
people
to burn
say,
it.
Yeah, more than like carbs or fats.
like a lot of people say when they eat like a high protein diet, they feel like more filled, like more.
It's also the most satiating macronutrient that you can consume. So you feel fuller, you're consuming less, and it's the building blocks of all of your muscles.
Okay. So what else can you hit us with? What's the other bullshit kicking around out there?
God. Anything the Liver King ever said.
The Liver King?
You can take that all as
Yeah.
bullshit. And you know what? A lot of the stuff he said was actually like good. He was just like taking steroids, saying he wasn't taking steroids, and saying that this like thing that he's selling you is all he's doing. Live your life like this. Live your life like that. Oh, here's a great bullshit thing. Have you seen this one going around on Instagram? There's dudes saying that you should eat certain parts of animals. Say I had a liver problem and I had some type of liver disease, fatty liver or whatever. There's dudes on the internet now telling you that you should eat liver because if you eat liver, most of the nutrients are going to go to a liver-like structure because it's easier. So, like,
Well, if you ate just straight liver, you may get rid of your liver problems because you weren't eating carbs.
yeah, maybe. All right, if you have brain cancer, don't go eating brains expecting it to fix it. Do you know what I mean?
That's almost isn't that something like don't naturopaths believe something to do with parts of medicine? I don't know. It sounds like
yes, there are good
pretty iffy.
naturopaths and bad naturopaths, though. It's kind of like chiropractors.
Yeah.
There's like really good chiropractors who do really good work, but then there's other ones that are just like snapping people's necks on Instagram. Is
Steven Seagal style?
Oh, have you seen
Seagal?
Seen them?
No, I haven't. I haven't seen any of those.
No.
Oh my god! If you want to go down a fun lane on Instagram, it's just chiropractors. There are some psychopaths out there. There's dudes like giving spinal adjustments to infants.
Ooh.
It's wild. But it's also pretty entertaining to watch like these dudes just pretty much grab people by the head and like just scary.
Give them the old Navy SEALs treatment.
100%.
Okay, I have a question for you.
Okay.
And this might go into the this made the news recently, and here's something that I enjoy. This right here.
Yeah.
One of these every once in a while. So there you go. You've got one too. So for everyone who's not looking at the screen on this podcast, which is everybody, I'm holding up a can of diet soda. Cliff is holding up a can of diet soda, and every once in a while, I have a can of diet soda.
Yeah.
Am I going to get cancer?
Okay.
If you have enough, maybe?
I would say Tim is right. With everything that we consume, the poison is in the dose. The study that all of that, so the main study that they did on this, that everybody, this is the study that everybody is talking about. Like when they don't know what they're talking about and they say a study showed that aspartame causes cancer, this is the study they're talking about. This study was done in mice for several months. Okay. They fed one set of mice, whatever the fuck, with aspartame in it. Another set of mice did not get the aspartame. The mice with the aspartame ended up getting a bunch of cancer, but what nobody ever tells you is how much aspartame these mice were getting. So somebody did the math.
I'm picturing these poor mice strapped to a rack, sorry to interrupt, with funnels in their throats and just pouring, cans after cans of Diet Coke down their throat here.
Yeah, mice don't get treated well in the science community.
No.
So anyways, somebody did the math and they found that to scale up the amount of aspartame that the mice were getting, a human, average sized human, so like male, 170-ish pounds, would have to consume 2 to 3 flats of Diet Coke every day for several months to be exactly like it was in the study. So I've got a feeling if you drink like a can of diet soda a day, I think you're going to be fine.
Okay.
But if you did drink a flat, you'd probably lose weight because you wouldn't have any room for anything else. Like,
yeah. And actually, Diet Cokes have been shown to be better for people trying to lose weight than water, in a sense, because it actually satiates your hunger a little bit.
It makes you feel like you're having a treat. And that's another thing that I heard. Another thing that kind of bothered me about this is that someone once told me that if I drank this, and this is a root beer. I love root beer. It is like cocaine to me. I need root beer in my life. When COVID was going on and you couldn't find this root beer in stores, there was like root beer shortage. I would go in, they would get the 2-liter bottles. I would go in there, I'd buy every one of those fucking things out of the store. Right. And I think I said that when there's no more root beer, I put on the flat black hockey pads and we're going out in the street, Mad Max style. We're going to riot. Right.
Yeah.
I need this shit. But someone told me that if I drink this, it's actually going to cause me to gain more weight. Is that true?
No. Look on the nutrition on the side of it. How many calories does it say?
0.
Mm-hmm. So the way you gain weight is consuming more calories throughout the day than you burn. How in the world is something that is 0 calories going to affect how you gain or lose weight at all?
Well, I think there is one way. Some of us, for instance, me, I have a fast food problem. So if I have even a small amount, anything that might be a fast food, and then I drive 3 seconds down the road, I'm like, oh, and there's McDonald's. I'll just drive in there. And oh, look, Arby's. And before you know it, I can eat 3 fast food meals in an hour. So some of us can't have things like that because we're addictive or whatever, right?
Yeah, and that's
and that would be the way that it could trick. What I recall about those articles was they were saying mentally certain people will have that diet pop, and then they're going to just like splurge on a bunch of other stuff, and those other things all have lots of calories.
Right, and that's fair enough. In terms of getting cancer or losing weight, though, it's you need to consume a lot of aspartame, and
I'd imagine
you would never ever gain weight because of a diet pop. The one thing that I have heard people argue is that the aspartame like tricks your body into thinking that it's getting sugar, so your body releases insulin to deal with that non-existent stuff, and then you end up getting insulin resistance. The problem with that is you need to consume calories to release insulin, and your body doesn't just like get tricked into releasing insulin because it's like a very specific hormone released. It just doesn't.
Yeah.
The more I talk about it, the more I get confused about it because it's like it's such a simple answer that like people have created this like mad long road around trying to fit into this conclusion that diet pop is bad for you, and I think it's crazy.
Well, even if it did release insulin, you'd still have to have some calories with it for that to store, right?
Right.
You couldn't store the Diet Coke.
Right. Which is 0 calories. So there's nothing to store.
Okay, I'm going to sideswipe you with another one that I've heard before.
Let's go. I love this.
Okay, so there's some role playing involved in this. You have to pretend I'm a slender lady, and I say to you, Cliff, I don't want to lift weights.
Hang on a second. Yeah? So you're a slender lady. Do you still have a mustache? Because this changes the entire equation.
Yes, I do have a mustache.
Yeah, it's the circus.
But regardless, you're not staring at my mustache because I'm just so outwardly beautiful
and I'm very professional. I would never do something like that.
No, you wouldn't. Okay, we'll cut this part right out. Fuck it. Okay,
I would only look you in your eye.
So I am a slender lady, and I'm going to say to you, I don't want to lift weights because I'm scared I'm going to get bulky and big.
Yeah.
I've heard this before.
So there's a few ways that you could go about explaining how that's also kind of crazy. One of the best things you can do, like, I don't know, not best things you can do. Here's a couple strategies. Assure them that they're not. One way that I do this with people is I ask them if they have like an intense high-level athletic background. Because if they do, then they could get bulky. And then if I can't kind of convince them like that, I will bring them to the gym. We will find the biggest meathead that you can find in the gym and ask him how long it took him to get bulky. And you'll get an answer that is like decades or something like that. And then you can just explain to them that they don't have as much testosterone in their bodies as us. And dudes who are legitimately trying very hard to get bulky have a very hard time getting bulky.
It is difficult.
What are the odds that a slender lady is going to do so much that she actually gets like legitimately bulky and not just like muscular?
Yeah, that's one that I hear all the time, and
I know,
lots of ladies are scared of say weights, and that's not to say that weights is what everyone needs to do, but it could be something that would benefit someone, and they're not doing it because they just have it in their mind.
for
People
sure.
have in their mind that I'm going to lift weights, I'm going to look like Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Yeah,
and
if only.
I don't want that.
My experience is that in that type of a situation where it's like slender woman doesn't want to lift weights, I generally will do something more to what they want to do, but also sneak in some weightlifting, because once women discover lifting weights, they love it. Like, there's nothing for something like that to make women feel strong. Like, I don't think a lot of these like slender ladies who don't want to lift weights understand how great it feels to feel strong. And as soon as they realize like how good that feels, they fall in love with weightlifting.
Yeah, I think it is of great benefit to everybody.
100%.
Okay, well, you know what? That's enough of my bullshit. And I don't know, Tim, if you want to sling some bullshit this fine gentleman's way, you're all to it. But Cliff, if you want to just kind of talk about free form, anything that you want to shoot the shit about, if there's something out there that you just know you want to get off your chest or set the record straight.
No, not really. I would love people to follow my Instagram, Clifford Krauss, Krauss Fitness. And I'll be posting pretty soon on there. Me and my boss are developing like a pretty comprehensive online muscle building program. That it's going to be good for just about every level of lifter, from beginner to advanced. And I'll probably be promoting that on my Instagram for pretty hard for a while.
Well, that's one thing I wanted to talk about. Oh, go ahead, Tim.
Yeah, I was just going to ask, can you give us a few basic details? You say it's online. Would you need access to a gym? Things like that.
For this one, yes. It would be an in the gym workout plan. The body weight one is going to be the one in the works next. But all in the gym, it's got 4 blocks. Each block is 3 months. And in those 3 months, we kind of train a certain way. And then once you finish those 3 months, we switch things up completely. So like we'll do like a strength block and then maybe like start incorporating drop sets for the next block. So it keeps things fairly fresh. So you're not always doing the same exercises, but you are doing a lot of the same exercises because that's how weightlifting works.
So one thing that I want to mention about your Instagram, and this is kind of what got me to just ask you to come on here, is that it's really helpful. If you want to know how to do an exercise, there's a lot on your page. It just kind of walks through a few different things that someone might just want to have in the back of their brain when they're going to the gym, or new things that they might want to try that they haven't before.
Yeah.
And it's in a professional environment showing you how to do something properly, which is a lot of times you see, and I've been guilty of, is doing something with bad form, or doing something that's too heavy for them, or doing something that just isn't a right fit. But you show people kind of more or less right on your Instagram page how to get the thing done that they need to do properly with good form and in a reasonable expectation, I guess. There's just a lot of good content on there. And
I appreciate that.
Anyone who's listening, if you're at all thinking about fitness, Cliff's Instagram page is definitely a good place to start. It's a healthy environment. We've seen a few Instagram fitness pages that are just complete fucking shit shows. Like, I got to be honest with you.
Yeah.
But yours is reasonable. It's something for everybody, and I think that it's a healthy spot to just kind of start out. So I'm proud of you, man. That's good for you.
Thanks, buddy. Yeah, I try to keep, like, my Instagram page is probably not somewhere where you're going to see like the latest challenge exercise that's popular on TikTok or something like that. Like, my training, the way that I got healthy and the way that I've built muscle is kind of the way that I like to train people. And it's so much of the basics that really my job, I'm like 50% cheerleader, 50% accountability buddy, because like a lot of my clients know how to do this stuff. Like I rarely have to give any corrections to what they're doing, but yeah, it's just do the basic stuff and just like gradually do it more and heavier, and you'll be fine.
Well, that's good, man.
Yeah.
That's good news. That's good advice for everybody. So, like I said, it's what else do you got? Is there anything else anywhere anyone can find you?
I'm sure I'm on Facebook, but I rarely go there. I think I just have it linked with my Instagram accounts. And that's about it, man. I'm getting back to jiu-jitsu and Muay Thai tomorrow, so pretty excited about that.
Oh, good. So, okay, one more, because this is typically a pop culture themed podcast. We do a lot of that here.
Yeah.
What are your favorite athletic movies?
Okay.
One or two,
Yeah.
And then I have a martial arts question after that. So,
oh, geez.
Well, let's talk Rocky 1 through 4. That counts as one, right?
I'm counting as one.
All right, good. Gotta love the Mighty Ducks. Oh, there's definitely more, man. I don't know. Rudy's still pretty dope. And yeah, I mean, sports movies are great. They're all good. The Tanya Harding one was good.
I haven't seen that one.
Oh, it's great.
But have you seen the latest interview with Arnold Schwarzenegger with, I think, Conan O'Brien, where he talked about the Hans and Franz movie that Conan O'Brien wrote that never happened?
No.
Hans and Franz.
And they go to their cousin Arnold's house. There's a whole interview about it. It's hilarious, and it sounds like a really good movie, and he wanted to do it. So it might happen now. I'm holding out hope for the Hans and Franz. But Rocky is definitely a big one for me. Rocky is up there. I remember really liking the Mighty Ducks. Another athlete movie for me. Surfing movies, does that count as athletics?
Totally. Sports movies nowadays, I don't watch as many of them because they make me want to cry. They're always so inspirational, and I remember playing hockey or something and being the underdogs and winning, and you're just like, God damn it, you did it, you guys.
Well, recently there was, and I'm drawing a blank on the name of the movie, but it revolves around a robot girl who got revived from the junk heap, and then she's in a roller derby type situation. Sports. What is the name of that show?
Battle Angel. Alita, Battle Angel.
That one. So that counts as a sports movie to me.
Okay.
Because it's got the roller derby aspect.
Yeah.
The killer roller derby.
It does have a...
But cross-genre.
Okay, so sports movies we got. Tim, you wanted to ask a martial arts question.
Yeah. Okay, so martial arts, but
yeah.
Let's go to the most controversial martial art, gun fu. What's your opinion of that fighting style?
What is it?
That's what gun fu would be. What Keanu Reeves uses in his most recent John Wick movies.
Oh, well then they're fucking awesome.
And have you ever trained with a gun in one hand?
No. I've actually never even shot a gun. I would love to shoot guns.
Well, up here in Canada, we rarely get to walk around carrying pistols, so I guess that's not unforeseen answer.
Yeah, it's also a much harder thing to do when you can only have them in your house. You'd have to get home invaded to use gun fu.
Yeah, I guess that's true.
Well, gents, I think we're hitting the end of the session here. So
we haven't rated his page. We have to rate Clifford Krauss Fitness.
Raid?
We have to rate something on every episode, don't we? I'm going to give him 37 out of 38.6.
Oh, we have to rate. I thought you said raid, like RAID.
No, rate. We have to give him our rating.
We were just talking about guns and stuff, and I thought, okay,
and now you're rating us.
Yeah, ATF style. We're just going to go in there and take all his fitness stuff, I guess. 37. What would you give it, Tim?
37 out of 38.6.
Oh,
it's got
I'm going to give it 68 dumbbells, and I owe you one out of 69.
Hey.
Hey.
Those are good ratings.
No, anyway.
Thank you, guys.
we're spazzes here. I don't know. We just always do that. But my man, it was a pleasure having you on.
Yeah, man.
It's great to talk to you again.
Yeah.
And next time I'm in Calgary, if I'm feeling spry enough, I might come and find you, and we'll go have a workout or something like that together.
Or we can just play some D&D.
I don't do that. I'm the lame brother, man.
You're the only one.
I'm the only one. I'm the lame brother.
I'd come down and play D&D.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, Tim would do it. I tried recently, and it's not as, I don't know, I can't do it. I'm not a
You're just not a fantasy guy. He's not a fantasy guy.
No. I have to see it in order to believe it. I can't. I have this imagination, but I just can't D&D, man. I don't know what it is. I'm so sorry.
There's no theater in your mind.
Oh, there is. It's it's a crazy one. It's just there's no fantasy movies playing in there.
Ryan can play space wizards, but talk about old time wizards and no good.
Yeah, I have a real problem. I have to explain this to me. I like to watch it though. Like I enjoyed Game of Thrones.
Great.
I like the Lord of the Rings movies.
Okay. I thought you were saying you enjoyed watching people play D&D, and I was going to say that's the craziest thing I've heard someone say.
No, I can. I don't know. I'd run off a cliff before I did that.
Okay, now we've really lost the train here.
I couldn't do it, so we're gonna have to settle for maybe I'll come find you. We'll do a workout, and then go and do some not D&D stuff.
Yeah. We'll go eat some food.
Yeah, have some sushi or something like that. But anyway,
Hell yeah.
it was
Oh,
always a pleasure, man. And
I appreciate you guys having me on, man.
Yeah, definitely. And we hope all the best for you. And if you want to come on some other time, just let us know. We talk about all kinds of stupid shit on here. So if you want to rip up on some movies or music or anything that pops into your head, we'll always have you on, man. And it's been a pleasure.
Anytime, man. Anytime. You just let me know.
All right. And Tim, we'll be back.
It's been a slice.
It has been a slice. Okay, gents.
Good evening and welcome to Pumping Up with Hans and Franz, the informative training program for the serious weightlifter.
Hello, let us begin by introducing ourselves. I am Hans.
And I'm Franz.
And we want to pump you up.